To kick off 2021, let's talk about 3 major live streaming or YouTube mistakes to avoid. I know these are things that I still struggle with and I'm working to overcome this year, and I wanted to share them with you and invite you along the journey with me. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Nick Balkuski, and on this channel we talk all about how you can use live streaming and video to grow your business. And like I said, this video, it's the first video in 2021, and I wanted to jump in and talk about 3 mistakes that I think you should try to avoid this year if you're just getting started live streaming or just getting started with YouTube. And honestly, it's even if you've been in this for a little while. Like I said, I know these are things that I struggled with last year and I'm working to overcome this year. And number 1, we're going to start out with giving into resistance. In the book War of Art, Steven Pressfield talks all about the resistance. This is definitely a book I highly recommend for any creative to read, but he talks about what it's like to try and get something creative out into the world and how we have to constantly face and work against that resistance, that kind of feeling, that hesitation. The mistake to really watch out for is just the procrastination that you have on getting started. That's really when you give into the resistance and just simply not producing. And that can look in several different ways. It could be not even getting started and spending too much time at not hitting that go live button on your phone to send your first live stream out there, or not recording your first video and just constantly pushing that off further and further into the future. Or that could be spending just too much time working on that edit or creating that outline to begin with that you don't start recording. It's really important that you push through that resistance, and one of the best ways to do that is to simply set a deadline for yourself and work on releasing content every single week. Go live every single week or release that YouTube video every single week. Set that date for yourself and really commit to that. And that's going to be one of the best things that you can do to help you push through. It's going to help make sure you have that deadline and are willing to stick to it and are kind of making that commitment, drawing that line in the sand so that you go forward and really commit to being a YouTuber, creating content, to being that content creator. And that really hits home for me because honestly, I can spend way too much time either putting off, too much time kind of working on an outline, trying to make sure I have the exact right points and the exact right phrasing for things, or I can simply, once I record something, spend way too much time working on B-roll, trying to get just the right edit, trying to do all these new techniques. I'm a big believer in working on your craft and kind of moving forward and upping your skill level, but ultimately at the end of the day, the best way to do that is to get something out there. So work hard to make your content as great as you can, but be sure to get it out by your deadline. Mistake number 2, waiting for gear. Don't wait for gear. Just get started with what you have. If you have a phone in your pocket, you have everything you need. Will gear make your streams more professional? Well, yes, it can. When you have higher end cameras, multiple cameras, high-end audio, and cool graphics, it's going to look a little bit better than iPhone 6 live stream. However, and really this is the key piece, looking better doesn't mean people are more engaged. It's ultimately more about your content, and that comes with practice. That comes with putting yourself out there, trying things, testing it out, learning to hit that go live button, and reacting to your audience and engaging with people. Plus, there are a lot of little small steps that you can take along the way to just elevate your look with little or no monetary income and monetary investment. And so for that, I recommend checking out some of the other videos that I dive in to some of those things. But ultimately, you want to make sure that you're not waiting for gear, not waiting for that upgrade or that new light or whatever it might be. Just get started creating and just work on your content and work on going live and connecting with your audience. That's how you're ultimately going to get better. And then when you're able to save enough and invest in that higher end equipment, then you're gonna be so much further along than someone who's just trying to figure it all out by buying a bunch of gear and trying to make it work. You're gonna have the results by putting the time in, by putting the effort in, by getting started right away. The third mistake to avoid in 2021 is trying to make big leaps. I really want you to think small. So I have some big goals for this channel, that's true, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm sure you have some big goals around your show and your business that relates to creating content. Realize that you aren't going to make all of that happen in one giant leap. You need to make progress while thinking small, taking those small steps, looking for those little improvements that you can make consistently day in and day out. That's what really leads to huge progress over the long run. And James Clear has a great book called Atomic Habits that really talks a lot about this and how it really is not those big things that make the ultimate difference. It's getting 1% better every single day. It's those little increments that are going to lead to exponential growth in that long run. And that's how you should be focusing in this year. Focus on those little improvements that you can make that will get you closer to one little step closer to your goal. Because ultimately, over the long period of time, that's where the true big growth happens. When you try to go for those big leaps, you miss, and you often miss and will not be making any sort of progress towards your goal. So try and make those little improvements. I know for me, one of my big goals kind of revolves around editing and just the quality of the videos released here on this channel and really wanting to improve those. And if I try and get to that next level with one video and like throw in all the editing techniques I want to do and really make this video perfect and amazing, well, I'm never going to release that video. It's never going to happen because I'm going to be too overwhelmed. There's going to be too much to learn and to really put into that one video. But by committing to releasing a video each week and by working to try and improve just one small element or learn one new skill within that video, well, week after week after week, if I do just that, that's really how you become a better editor in 1 year. That's how you make those major improvements in any area of your life. So focus on that small growth. These mistakes are ones I'm going to be working on a lot this year to try to avoid, and I would love to have you come along on the journey with me, help hold me accountable, and really join me on this journey, and hopefully you can improve on some of those mistakes as well. Let me know which one you are struggling with the most. Leave a comment below. I'll be sure to do the same. And if you're interested in getting started with live streaming, be sure to check out the live streaming starter kit. There'll be a link in the description, or you can click right there. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.